What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Right now you're looking at what could be one of the best weapons in Destiny 2. This is the Wendigo GL3 grenade launcher, and it is the pinnacle reward from the Vanguard during the season of Opulence. The focus on this video is going to be how to get that quest done a bit faster. The quest is called a gift for the worthy, and it is pretty time consuming, but I'm also going to give my basic opinions on this weapon. It is insane. I think this is one of the best DPS weapons in the game at this point, and one that you want to get your hands on as soon as you can. The reason why this thing is so good is because of this trait right here, which is called Explosive Light. Picking up an orb of light increases the next grenade's blast radius and damage, and the effect of that is pretty significant. You can greatly increase the amount of damage this thing does. Honestly, even without that perk, it's still an amazing weapon. It still does a lot of damage. With that, it becomes an absolute game changer. So before we get into how to get it done faster, let's go see how it performs here in the wild. Right now, I am inside a lost sector, and I already have Explosive Light times 6. You can get this thing at times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, the further you go, the more damage it's going to do. So I'm inside this lost sector, and this boss right here beforehand, with no perk at all, it was doing about 24,000 damage. Let's see how it does now with times 6. We're going to run up to this guy. Sorry, dude. Don't mean to do it. Each shot was doing, whoops, I missed one. Each shot was doing, missed two. Good plays. Each shot was doing about 38,000 for the primary hit and another 4,000 or so for the secondary hit. So that was doing roughly 42,000 damage, up from about 24,000 damage. I don't know the exact percentage there, but I can give you a very unscientific explanation. The damage output is insane when you have Explosive Light times 6. This becomes one of the absolute best weapons in terms of DPS when you have that. Now the nice thing about it is too is I can stow this weapon and I can wait a bit, I can hang out, I can shoot these guys, make some more orbs. The nice thing about it is, whenever I switch back to it, I'm going to have that Explosive Light. So you can save this thing up for a boss or for a more powerful enemy. The other cool thing is too, right now I have my super fully charged. I can still pick up Orbs of Light and get the Explosive Light perk while my super is fully charged. So don't worry about having to use your super to get orbs again. They have that built in to this weapon. So as you can see, this is a really, really good weapon when you have that Explosive Light perk activated. How do you get this thing? So to get this weapon, you have to do the quest from Zavala called a Gift of the Worthy. Now, the nice thing about it is that it is shared across your accounts, so you can make progress towards this on everything, which is pretty neat. The other thing about that is it's a very time-consuming quest. To get this thing, you have to have 1,500 grenade launcher kills, you have to get 500 grenade launcher multi-kills, and you have to get a percentage bar filled up. The grenade launcher kills count more towards that percentage. Any weapon will count, any kill will count. The caveat being that any death you have will impede your progress. So that does make for some interesting things here when it comes to how can I get this thing done faster. The other thing about that is you have to get this thing done in a strike playlist. So if I go to my destinations here, I have to go into a strike playlist. I can't just jump into any random strike, and that's important because other strikes are better than others when it comes to actually getting grenade launcher kills. Other ones are better to farm in. So you have to be in the Vanguard strike playlist, and that is what's going to give you progress towards a gift for the worthy. So how do you get that many kills? Well, ordinarily, I would say wait till you have the hollow layer strike. That is the strike that's over here in the Tangled Shore. Wait until that came up, and you could go in and get that done pretty easily. At the very end, you have so many enemies coming out. You and a fire team could easily farm that section and get a ton of grenade launcher kills right away. The problem is you're going to have to die before you kill the boss to reset it, and that's going to hurt your progress. So for that reason, I can't fully recommend doing the hollowed layer strike. To be honest, your better bet when it comes to getting this done faster, and this is a tip that I've gotten from some super helpful people in this community, the better bet is to wait until you get the corrupted strike here in Dreaming City. Do this with a fire team because you don't want to ruin it for the other two guys. Do this with a fire team, and whenever you get the corrupted, instead of going there, head right over to the blind well. This way you can easily farm a ton of kills, and you can get this done way, way faster than if you just go through and do a normal strike playlist. You're still doing a strike because you're going to be in the corrupted strike, but you want to jettison off and head over to the blind well. This is going to let you get this done way, way faster. Again, when you're doing the progress, points earned. You're going to have a lot more progress when you get done the grenade launcher kills. That's going to give you more of a percentage. Make sure you keep your deaths down because that's what's really going to hurt your progress for this. Make no mistake, there really isn't much you can do here in terms of getting this done super fast. Blind well is going to be your best bet with a fire team. I don't recommend doing that without a fire team because, like I said, other two guys are just going to move ahead anyway, and you're going to end up getting pulled forward. So try to get a team together for this. That's going to be your absolute best bet. But if you can get this, this is an insane weapon right now, and it's honestly probably the best pinnacle weapon that Vanguard has had, even with the bump that Fusion Rifles had and the loaded question being insanely good now. The cool thing about this is the fact that it's a legendary weapon. It feels like an exotic. You're almost having two exotics here with this thing, in my opinion. You can have some really awesome combinations here. Right now I'm using this weapon and Jotun. You could use this weapon, loaded question, and then Outbreak. That would be a sick combination. So honestly, this is a really, really good weapon. I highly recommend it. If you weren't quite sure of whether or not you should go for it, jump right in and get this thing done. In terms of weapons you want to use to actually get it, like I said, grenade launcher kills are what you have to get. Having Fighting Lion is an absolute must, so that's going to be a weapon that you want to use for this. So if you don't have that, use any grenade launcher that you do. But Fighting Lion, it is an energy weapon, and the cool thing about Fighting Lion, if I can find it here, the cool thing about it is this uses primary ammo, so you don't have to worry too much about running out of ammo. You're always going to have that for this thing. The only thing about it is it may take a little bit of time to get used to using this. I know for myself, it was taking some practice to get used to it. So there you have it. Use Fighting Lion. Try to wait for the Dreaming City Strike, the Corrupted. When that does pop up, you want to don't head towards the strike. You want to jump right into Blind Well, and that will be your fastest bet. Do this with a fire team, and you'll have your hands on this weapon, the Wendigo. One of my favorite weapons, and one that I highly recommend anybody getting because it is so dominant. If this was helpful, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Even better, subscribe. Come back to the YouTube channel. Come back here to live streams. Laugh, joke. You know I love doing that here and during the streams. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate all your help, and we'll catch up soon. See you guys.